Hey, did you ever wonder why the sky is blue? Come lie down here with me for a second. It's honestly one of the best little secrets there is. And it really is a wonderful question. It's so simple that almost every child asks it, and yet so deep that grown-up scientists needed hundreds of years to answer it properly. Look up on a clear day, not green, not purple, not a plain and empty white, but blue, all the way across. And hidden inside it is a second little puzzle. If the sky is blue, then why at the end of the day does it quietly turn to gold and red? By the time we're done, you'll see that these two questions share one single beautiful answer. To understand the sky, we first have to understand the light falling on it. Sunlight looks plain and white, or maybe the palest yellow, but that white is a kind of trick. Hidden inside it are all the colors of the rainbow mixed together, red and orange, yellow and green, blue and violet, all traveling along side by side. We just don't notice until something sorts them out for us. A raindrop can do it and paint a rainbow across the sky. And so it turns out can the air itself. Light travels in tiny waves, far too small for our eyes to see, and each color is really a different size of wave. Red light has the longest, laziest waves. As you slide along the rainbow through orange, yellow, and green, the waves get shorter and quicker. Blue light has short little waves, and violets are shorter still. Hold on to that one idea, because it is the secret to the whole sky. Red is long and slow, blue is short and quick. Now, the air. It feels like empty nothing, but it isn't. The sky above you is an enormous ocean of air, made of countless tiny specks, mostly molecules of nitrogen and oxygen, bouncing about, invisible and unimaginably small. Each one is hundreds of times smaller than even the tiniest wave of light. And when sunlight comes pouring down through all of these little specks, something clever happens to those different-sized waves. When a wave of light meets a speck of air, it can bounce off and go shooting away in a brand new direction. Scientists call this scattering, but here is the magic. Those tiny specks are much better at bouncing the short, quick waves than the long, slow ones. So the blue light gets knocked about, scattered again and again, sprayed off in every direction. The red light, with its long, lazy waves, mostly ignores the little specks and sails straight on through. Blue is bounced all over the sky. Red carries calmly on. So picture it. Sunlight pours into the air, and the blue is scattered out of the beam and sprayed across the whole sky. Now, wherever you look, over there, straight up, off to the side, some of that bounced around blue light is drifting down into your eyes. The whole sky has become a soft blue lamp, glowing with scattered sunlight. It's always palest down near the horizon, where the light has to travel through the most air. And that, at last, is the answer. The sky is blue because blue light is simply the easiest to bounce. And blue doesn't win by just a little. Because of the way this bouncing works, the short blue waves are scattered several times more strongly than red. Very roughly 5 to 10 times more, depending on which exact shades you compare. Such a tiny difference in the size of a wave turned into such an enormous difference in the sky. A little more blue, and a little more blue from every single speck of air, until it all adds up to an ocean of blue over your head. Now let's clear up an old and very reasonable guess. A lot of people think the sky is blue because it reflects the blue of the sea. It's a lovely idea, but it isn't true. The blue is made right there in the air itself. You can stand in the very middle of a desert, 1,000 miles from any ocean with nothing but dry sand all around you, and look up and the sky is just as blue as it is over the sea. The air is doing all of the work. But wait a moment. If short waves scatter the most, then something doesn't quite add up. Violet light has even shorter waves than blue. It should be scattered even more. So by that logic, the sky ought to be violet, a deep purple ceiling stretched over our heads. And yet it clearly isn't. So why, when we look up, do we see gentle blue and not violet? This puzzle quietly bothered clever people for a very long time. The honest answer is that a few different things all add up at once. For one, the sun actually sends us a little less violet light than blue to begin with. For another, some of that violet gets soaked up high in the atmosphere before it ever reaches the ground. But the biggest reason of all isn't out there in the sky, it's inside you. And to see why, we have to take a gentle peek at how your own eyes handle color. Inside your eye are 3 kinds of tiny color detectors. Roughly speaking, one that loves red, one that loves green, and one that loves blue. Everything you see is your brain blending together what these three quietly report. Now the sky is really scattering a mixture of blue and violet light, tangled together, but your detectors get far more excited by the blue part, and only a little by the violet. So your brain adds it all up and calls it a soft, gentle blue. The color of the sky, in a very real way, is painted partly inside your own head. So that is the daytime sky, glowing blue from edge to edge. But we still have that second little puzzle waiting patiently, the one about the end of the day. Because as the afternoon fades and the sun sinks down toward the hills, the sky begins to change. The clean blue softens, warm gold quietly seeps in, and low near the sun the whole world turns to orange and glowing red. The reason is beautifully simple, and it's hiding in the angle of the sun. At midday, the sun is high, and its light dives almost straight down through a thin, short layer of air to reach you. But at sunset, the sun sits low on the horizon. Now its light comes in nearly sideways, plowing through a far longer, thicker stretch of air. Right down at the horizon, that can be 30 or 40 times as much air as when the sun is straight overhead. And over that long, long journey through all that extra air, the blue light meets speck after speck after speck, and gets scattered away off to the sides, until almost none of it is left in the beam. The short blue waves simply don't survive the trip. But the long red and orange waves, the ones that sail straight through, they make it all the way to your eyes. And so the sun and the whole sky around it glow warm orange and deep, gentle red. And now, here is the moment where our two little puzzles quietly become one. The blue light in your sunset didn't vanish. It was scattered away, out sideways across the sky, off to become the blue daytime sky for somebody else, hundreds of miles to the east, where the sun is still high overhead. It is all the very same sunlight, and the very same bouncing of blue. A blue sky and a red sunset are simply that one light, sorted two different ways. This is also why some sunsets are quiet, and others are absolutely unforgettable. It isn't really about pollution. A little fine, high dust or smoke can nudge the colors toward deeper reds, and high clouds can catch and hold that last warm light. But thick, low haze usually just muddies everything to a dull gray. Often, it's the cleanest, calmest air that gives the purest, most glowing sunsets of all. Once you know the trick of scattering, you start to notice it everywhere. Look at a cloud. A cloud is made of water droplets, and those droplets are big, thousands of times bigger than a tiny speck of air. And big droplets don't play favorites. They bounce every color equally. All the colors mixed back together give you white. That's why clouds are soft and white, and it's why a thick, deep storm cloud letting much less light through turns a heavy gray. Or look far away at a line of distant hills. Have you ever noticed that they often look faintly blue and paler the farther off they are? That's the sky's very same trick again. Between you and those far hills lies mile upon mile of air, and all of that air is scattering its little bit of blue into the space in between. You are quite literally seeing the blue of the sky stacked up in front of the mountains. Painters have used this gentle effect for centuries to make a picture feel deep. Now here's a thought. If the blue sky is made by air, then what happens where there is no air at all? Rise up, above the entire ocean of air, out into space, and the sky simply goes dark. Astronauts standing on the moon in bright, full sunlight look up into a black and starry sky, even in the middle of the day. With no air to scatter it, the sunlight has nothing to bounce off. No air, no blue, just the sun blazing white in the dark. And other worlds sort their light in their own way. Take Mars. Its air is thin and full of fine, rusty dust, and by day that dust makes the Martian sky a soft, dusky butterscotch, a pale orange afternoon. But here is the truly wonderful part. On Mars, the sunsets glow blue. NASA's little rovers have photographed it, a cool blue glow gathered close around the setting sun. The Martian dust is just the right size to sort the light the opposite way to ours. Same physics, different air, and the colors quietly trade places. And that, in the end, is the whole gentle secret. The color of a sky, any sky on any world, comes down to one simple question. What is floating in the air to sort the sunlight? Tiny specks of clean air give us blue days and red evenings. Big water droplets give us soft white clouds. Rusty dust gives Mars its butterscotch afternoons and its cool blue dusk. The light is always the same. It's the air that quietly decides the color. So the next time you are lying on the grass, staring up into all that blue, you'll know what you are really looking at. Sunlight pouring down through an ocean of invisible air, with the blue of it bounced across the whole wide sky and gently down into your eyes. And when the day ends, and that same sky melts into gold and red, you'll understand that too. It was never really two mysteries, it was always just one. The same light, sorted two different ways. Isn't it lovely how much sky there is, hidden inside a single ray of sunshine? Thanks for spending a little while looking up with me. If the sky feels a little more wonderful than it did 10 minutes ago, hit subscribe. There's a brand new little Y every single week. See you under the next sky.